The journey of two warriors, Khabib Nurmagomedov and Shahbulat Shamhalayev. Imagine a darkened room, the air thick with anticipation, as the audience waits for two legends to step into the spotlight. The eyes of the crowd, holding their breath, are fixed on the octagon where two fates are about to collide. One of them is a young man from the rugged, harsh terrains of Dagestan, a warrior with an undefeated future ahead of him, a fighter whose story would echo through the halls of MMA history. His name? Khabib Nurmagomedov. The other, Shahbulat Shamhalayev, a fierce competitor with his own set of promises, aims to prove that no one is invincible, not even a rising star like Khabib. Clock ticks as the night unfolds, the crowd buzzing with tension. It's May 16, 2009. The M1 Challenge is about to witness one of the most defining moments in the careers of these two men. Khabib Nurmagomedov, the rise of the eagle. From the rugged mountains of Dagestan, Khabib Nurmagomedov was born into a world where combat was not just a sport, it was a way of life. Growing up in the small village of Sildi, Khabib's early years were marked by hard training, discipline, and an innate drive to succeed. His father, Abdulmanap Nurmagomedov, was a seasoned martial artist who had fought his own battles in wrestling and judo. And he instilled this deep love for fighting in his son from a very young age. Khabib's fighting career started in freestyle wrestling, where he quickly rose to prominence in the local and regional scenes. But it was MMA that truly beckoned him, a sport that allowed him to blend his wrestling dominance with the evolving aspects of striking and submission techniques. By the time Khabib entered the M1 Challenge, he was already known for his exceptional wrestling prowess, his explosive takedowns, and his ironclad resolve. He would soon earn the moniker the Eagle, symbolizing his swift, overpowering nature in the cage. In 2009, Khabib was still an undefeated young fighter with a point to prove. He was determined to make a mark in the MMA world, and he had a burning passion that could not be extinguished. His skills in grappling, especially submissions, had already been evident in his previous victories. It was clear to anyone who saw him fight that he was not just another fighter, he was destined for greatness. Shahbulat Shamhalayev, a fighter from the streets. On the other side of the ring stood Shahbulat Shamhalayev, a fighter with his own set of strengths and determination. Shahbulat came from a background shaped by the tough streets of Russia, where his raw fighting instincts were honed through difficult circumstances. He wasn't just another tough fighter, he was a warrior with a passion for combat that could rival any opponent. Known for his strong striking ability and his unyielding resilience, Shamhalayev was a force to be reckoned with. However, there was one area that Khabib had mastered and Shahbulat would soon find himself up against: the art of grappling. Shamhalayev was certainly no slouch when it came to the fight game, but the overwhelming nature of Khabib's wrestling would be a challenge he had never truly faced before. In this fight, the anticipation was palpable. Shahbulat knew that to defeat Khabib, he would need more than just power, he would need strategy. He would need heart, and most importantly, he would need to survive Khabib's relentless grappling onslaught. The fight, Khabib Nurmagomedov vs. Shahbulat Shamhalayev. As the bell rang and the fighters made their way to the center of the cage, the crowd held their breath. It was as if time slowed down in that very moment. Khabib, with his eyes locked on his opponent, looked calm, almost stoic, as he prepared to execute the well-rehearsed game plan that had earned him success in previous bouts. His stance was perfect, low, with his hands poised to engage. Shahbulat, on the other hand, was quick, confident, and ready to engage in an exchange of strikes. But he knew deep down that this wouldn't be a stand-up battle. It would be a test of wills. Round 1 began with both fighters feeling each other out. Shahbulat came in with quick movements, trying to land sharp punches and avoid being taken down. Khabib, sensing the opportunity, quickly closed the distance, his wrestling instincts taking over. With an explosive burst of speed and technique, Khabib clinched and pressed Shamhalayev against the cage, a position where the Russian fighter's striking ability would be neutralized. The crowd erupted as the two clashed, the sound of flesh meeting flesh echoing through the arena. But what followed was a display of Khabib's grappling superiority. Within moments, he used his exceptional wrestling skills to off-balance Shamhalayev and bring him to the mat. It was as though the fight was already over before it had even really begun. Khabib transitioned seamlessly from one position to the next, maintaining control with his suffocating pressure. Shamhalayev attempted to scramble, looking for openings, but Khabib's positioning was impeccable. As the fight progressed, Khabib moved to mount, and Shahbulat found himself stuck in a position that most fighters would find near impossible to escape from. Khabib's ground control was nothing short of relentless. Shahbulat fought with every ounce of strength, but he was gradually being worn down. His energy drained as Khabib's pace never faltered. Then, with a calmness that only a fighter of Khabib's caliber could display, the eagle looked for his opportunity. And then, like a storm descending upon its prey, Khabib locked in the armbar. The transition was swift, almost surgical. Shahbulat, despite his best efforts to defend, found himself trapped, with no escape route in sight. The crowd roared as Khabib tightened his grip, securing the submission with precision. At 4:36 of the first round, Shahbulat Shamhalayev tapped out, and the fight was over. Khabib had won again another victory in his long and unbeaten journey. The aftermath, a legend in the making. Khabib's victory over Shahbulat Shamhalayev was more than just another win on his record. It was a defining moment in his career. The submission victory, in particular, demonstrated the depth of his grappling ability. He had showcased his ability to not only control an opponent, but to dominate in every aspect of the fight. His undefeated record remained intact, and the world would soon take notice of the fighter who was not only talented, but unstoppable. For Shahbulat, the fight was a hard lesson, a reminder that no matter how skilled a fighter may be, there are certain forces in MMA that cannot be overcome. But despite the loss, his heart and toughness were undeniable. He would continue to fight, seeking redemption in the harsh world of mixed martial arts. As the years passed, Khabib would go on to become one of the greatest fighters in UFC history, while Shahbulat would continue to battle his way through different promotions. But the memory of that fateful night in 2009 would live on in the hearts of those who witnessed it.